This video was sponsored by... The first Mario Kart video I ever made was about how I hated Sky High Sundae in Mario Kart 8, and I'm happy to say that Mario Kart World has completely changed how I feel about this track. It went from my most hated to one of my most favorites. Even the music grew on me, and now here I am, redesigning the Sky High Sundae of Mario Kart World. I guess Sky High Sundae is the Sky High Sundae of Mario Kart. We're talking about Boo Cinema. More like Boo Cinema. My beef with this track is the same as Sky High Sundae. It has an amazing theme, one of the best up there, but the layout sucks fat balls, so I'm gonna see what I can do about it. Let's talk about the good first, because I don't like being a hater. The music in this track fucking slaps. Which, I mean, have you heard the entire soundtrack for this game? I haven't. It's like 200 songs. The music that plays in the track is like such a big factor for me. There's a few instances where I would love the layout of a track, but the music just isn't for me, so I don't play it as much. I love how the main melody is made to kick in right as you fly into the movie screen, and this track has dynamic music! Let's go! And the visuals of how you fly into the screen is so sick. I love the countdown to this part of the track opening up. Which, fun fact if you didn't know, the countdown is based on your distance from the track, so if you stop or go backwards, you can like mess with the timing of the countdown. All the theming of this part of the track especially is phenomenal. Driving on this film looks so cool, and I like the idea of the rails being whatever these things are called, but it fits. I think it's pretty neat how the track crosses over right here too, potentially making it to where you fly over some of the racers. So yeah, this track is really nice to just kind of like sit down and enjoy the atmosphere, not as much to race on. Why is it so short? This section here is like the starting/ending area. You know, to ease you into the race and bring you back to the finish. If you ignore this, the track is an oval. The bulk of this track, think like the standout point, it's an oval. There's giant reels right here. They could have like added an extra curve around one or something. This is more of a nitpick than anything, but you know how the film is supposed to be like 1 frame per square so that when it moves it creates movement? This track just has the same peach image displayed across every panel, and then this part here is animated. It does give a cool effect, but I do think it would have been cooler if the frames were like spread out so you kind of watch a movie throughout the race. My last gripe is just these 2 rails at the very end. I don't know if I just haven't learned Mario Kart World technique yet, but these feel so awkward to drive on. I want to trick off them at the end, but if you do, you just drive off the track. It's kind of weird trying to grind on both of them. But yeah, very similar situation to Sky High Sundae, where there's a perfect theme, and they just made it an oval for some reason. So here's my take on what they should have done. So to start, I kept the actual theater mostly the same, since there's not really anything wrong with it. Then my first course of action was just to add more than 2 curves to the movie section. I kept the idea of curving around the reels and then drive onto this moving strip of film here, and decided it can be animated like in the actual course, since it does look really cool to drive on. And then the rest of the road would have like the frame by frame display on the bottom. I added some extra grind rails on this part, and in the film here we'll curve upwards for a cool wall riding shortcut to take. There's also 2 reels you can jump across right here to save some time. This part right here has some horizontal moving film, essentially the same as that one part in Toad's Factory, but with no ground in between. Then you take this set of curves that go under the road and fly back into the theater, and then took away that awkward grind rail at the end. There's more rails for grinding here too. One is on this strip that you can also wall ride on, then another is off to the side above the abyss, making for a high risk, high reward jump after the moving film section. This reel takes you high up onto this other road, where you can take another glider ramp. I also made whatever this thing is a shortcut, since you can use it to drive up to the roof and free roam. Then you can drive through this secret room into the theater. I decided to do another angle here, since there's a lot going on with these rails, and honestly, it's still a little hard to tell here. One detail I added is I think other films should be present, not just like this clip of Peach. So I added a little strip with King Boo and Luigi. I imagine they could add even more on the extra film, but also I don't want to clutter everything too much. So that's all for this one. I just wanted to get out this little idea since I see so much missed potential with this track. Thanks for watching. Let me know if y'all enjoy the shorter form videos that just focus on one track. They're a lot easier to get out, so maybe I can do this more often. I hope you all have a good day, and I love you.